Hey garden fam, welcome back to The Sprout. Today we're talking about one of the most reliable and beautiful spring blooming shrubs you can grow, Weigela. With its arching branches covered in trumpet-shaped flowers, this plant is a showstopper from late spring to early summer. The flowers come in shades of pink, red, purple, and even white, and they're a magnet for hummingbirds and bees. And the best part? It's incredibly easy to grow. Weigela is a deciduous shrub native to East Asia, but it's become a classic in gardens around the world. It's hardy, adaptable, and offers great variety, from compact dwarf varieties, perfect for containers, to larger shrubs, ideal for hedges and borders. In this video, I'll cover everything you need to know: planting, light, soil, watering, fertilizing, pruning, propagation, common problems, and how to keep your Weigela blooming its heart out. Before we dive in, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. We put out new gardening videos every week, and I don't want you to miss the next one. Also, drop a comment below. Do you grow Weigela? What color are your flowers? I'd love to hear about it. Now let's get into it. First, let's talk about why Weigela is such a great garden plant. It's a deciduous shrub, meaning it loses its leaves in winter, but in spring it comes back with a burst of color. The flowers are funnel-shaped and appear in clusters. Some newer varieties, like the All Summer series, bloom repeatedly from late spring into fall, giving you months of color. Weigela is also a fantastic plant for pollinators. Bees and hummingbirds can't resist the nectar-rich flowers. And because it comes in such a wide range of sizes, there's a Weigela for every garden, from tiny dwarf varieties under a foot tall to large shrubs reaching up to 10 feet. Now let's talk about popular varieties. There are so many to choose from. Bristol Ruby is a classic. Large, bright red flowers, very vigorous. Red Prince is another excellent red-flowered variety with very large blooms. Wine and Roses has stunning dark burgundy foliage and pink flowers. My Monet is a tiny dwarf with variegated pink, white, and green leaves, perfect for containers. The Sonic Bloom series offers reblooming varieties in pink, red, and white, and All Summer Peach has apricot peach flowers and blooms from April to October. Now let's start with sun requirements. Weigela grows best in full sun to partial shade. For the most abundant flowers and the best foliage color on variegated or dark-leaved varieties, give it at least 6 hours of direct sunlight daily. In too much shade, the plant will get leggy and produce fewer flowers. In very hot climates, light afternoon shade can help prevent leaf scorch, especially on variegated varieties. Now let's talk about soil. Weigela is not picky. It grows in most well-draining soils, including clay, sand, and loam. It tolerates a wide pH range, from acidic to alkaline, as long as the soil is not waterlogged. Good drainage is important. Wet, boggy soil can lead to root rot. If you have heavy clay, amend it with compost or sand. Now let's talk about planting. The best time to plant Weigela is spring or early fall. Spring planting gives the roots time to establish before summer heat. Dig a hole twice as wide as the root ball, but no deeper. The root ball should be level with the soil surface. Backfill with soil, water thoroughly, and mulch. Space plants according to their mature size. Dwarf varieties need 2 to 3 feet between plants. Larger varieties need 6 to 8 feet. Now let's talk about watering. Water regularly during the first year to help the roots establish. After that, Weigela is moderately drought tolerant. In normal weather, rainfall is usually enough. Water deeply during extended dry spells, especially if the plant is in a container. Avoid overwatering. Weigela doesn't like wet feet. Now let's talk about fertilizing. Weigela is not a heavy feeder, but it benefits from a little food. In early spring, apply a balanced fertilizer formulated for shrubs. This encourages strong growth and abundant flowers. Do not over-fertilize. Too much nitrogen gives you lots of leaves and fewer flowers. For organic options, use composted manure or compost. Now let's talk about pruning. This is the most important part of Weigela care. Weigela blooms on old wood, meaning the flower buds form on the previous year's growth. If you prune in fall, winter, or early spring, you will cut off the flowers. So when should you prune? The best time is immediately after flowering, typically in June or July. You have a window of a few weeks. Here's how to prune. First, remove any dead, damaged, or diseased branches. Cut them back to healthy wood. Second, remove any branches that are crossing or rubbing. Third, thin out the oldest, thickest canes at the base. Remove about 1/4 of the oldest stems each year. This rejuvenates the plant and encourages new growth. Fourth, cut back the stems that just flowered by about 1/3. This encourages branching and more flowers next season. For older, neglected plants, you can do a hard renovation prune in early spring. Cut the entire plant back to about 6 to 12 inches from the ground. You'll lose that year's flowers, but the plant will bounce back. Now, let's talk about common problems. Let's go through them one by one. Problem 1. No flowers or very few flowers, almost always because you're pruning at the wrong time. Weigela blooms on old wood. Prune only right after flowering. Problem 2. Leggy growth with flowers only at the tips. Lack of rejuvenation pruning. Remove the oldest canes to the ground every year. Problem 3. Powdery mildew. White powder on leaves. This is common in humid weather with poor air circulation. Space plants properly. Water at the base. Remove affected leaves. Problem 4. Leaf spot. Brown or black spots on leaves. Remove affected leaves. Improve air circulation. Don't compost infected leaves. Problem 5. Rust. Orange-colored spots on leaves. Remove affected leaves. Use a fungicide if severe. Problem 6. Aphids. Small insects on new growth. Spray them off with water. Use insecticidal soap for heavy infestations. Problem 7. Spider mites. Fine webbing on leaves. Spray with water or insecticidal soap. Problem 8. Winter dieback. In cold climates, some branches may die over winter. Prune them out in early spring before new growth starts. Here's where you come in. Drop a comment below. Do you grow Weigela? Which variety is your favorite? Have you pruned it right after flowering? I'd love to know. Now let's talk about Weigela in containers. Compact varieties like My Monet and All Summer Peach are perfect for pots. Choose a pot at least 12 inches wide with drainage holes. Use a good quality potting mix. Water regularly. Containers dry out faster than garden soil. Fertilize in spring. In cold climates, protect the pot in winter or move it to an unheated garage. Now let's talk about Weigela as a hedge. Larger varieties make a beautiful flowering hedge. Plant them 5 to 6 feet apart. Prune right after flowering to maintain shape. A Weigela hedge in bloom is unforgettable. Now let's talk about propagation. Weigela is easy to propagate from cuttings. Take softwood cuttings in early summer or semi-ripe cuttings in midsummer. Cut a 4 to 6 inch stem. Remove the lower leaves. Dip in rooting hormone. Plant in moist potting mix. Cover with a plastic bag to create humidity. Roots form in 4 to 6 weeks. You can also take hardwood cuttings in late autumn or winter. Let me give you a few quick answers to common questions. How fast does Weigela grow? Moderate, 1 to 2 feet per year. How long does Weigela live? With good care, decades. When is the best time to plant? Spring or early fall? Can I cut Weigela to the ground? Yes, in early spring for renovation. You'll lose flowers for 1 year, but the plant will recover. Is Weigela deer resistant? It's not their first choice, but they may eat it. Is Weigela toxic to pets? Weigela is generally considered non-toxic to dogs and cats, but as with any plant, ingesting large amounts can cause stomach upset. Let's wrap everything up. Weigela is a beautiful, low-maintenance shrub that delivers a spectacular spring show. Give it full sun to partial shade, plant in well-draining soil, it tolerates most soils, water during the first year, then only during dry spells, fertilize in spring with a balanced shrub fertilizer. The most important rule, prune right after flowering, not in fall or spring. Remove old canes to the ground, cut back flowered stems. This keeps the plant healthy and blooming. Here's the most important thing to remember. Weigela rewards correct pruning. Prune it right after the flowers fade, and it will reward you with vigorous growth and masses of flowers every year. Prune it at the wrong time, and you'll get leaves but no flowers. It's that simple. Give it sun, give it good drainage, and give it that post-bloom haircut. Your garden will be bursting with color. Before you go, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and leave me a comment. Are you going to plant Weigela? What variety caught your eye? I'd love to know. Also, what shrub should I cover next? Hydrangea? Lilac? Ninebark? Let me know. Thanks for watching. Take care of your garden, and it will take care of you. See you in the next video.